We are working on block 8. Can you believe it? We are almost done. After this week, only 2 more weeks. So next week is the 9th block, and then we're going to put it all together in one video. So that video will be a little bit longer because we've got, to do sashing between each of the blocks and then sewing all the rows together. So that one's going to take just a little bit longer, but yeah, it's going to all come together. So in just 2 weeks, by the end of the video, you will have a completed quilt. I'm so excited. We've really worked on this. I know it seems like a long time to some of y'all because it was real slow. We were just doing 1 block a week, but really for me, that's really fast. I'm known for my really slow year-long plus sew-alongs. But for this one, it really didn't need to go that long. 1 week at a time is pretty nice cadence. My lights were flashing. I may lose electricity. I'll be fast. Okay, so I don't know what block is what, but we have finished the orange block. We have finished, there's so many, they're so pretty. A pink one, I think there's a couple of pink ones, but so pretty. And I like this one because it's got the black in it. Love that one. I like the stripes. And we've got this one. Yeah, for some reason my my machine, I'll need to check and make sure it's plugged in good. Okay, it keeps starting and stopping. And the lights keep flickering though. All right. And then the mustard one. Look how pretty these all are. And here is another pink one. This one's done wrong. I didn't realize it till I just hung it up. I did this one wrong. Oh my goodness. Do you see this? Do you see this? I'm going to have to redo that. I was like, this one doesn't look like the other one. I didn't even notice. How cool is that block though? It looks really cool, but I am going to redo it. Yeah, so it's giving me errors. Okay, let's make sure I didn't do this one. I did this one wrong. Oh my gosh, I did that one wrong. I can't believe it. All the rest of them are right. That is insane. I'm glad that I held these up for you. How funny is that? I'm going to have to redo that one. That's all right. I'll have that one redone before next weekend. So anyway, those are your blocks. We are literally almost done. We're doing block 8 today. And fingers crossed, no seam ripper. Obviously, I have to do that one, but I'm going to do that one offline. Just take that piece out and yeah. Anyway, I can't believe I did that. Y'all didn't tell me. Anyway, was that one of the first ones? Anyway, so we're going to get going today with block 8 and we've got 1 more week and then we put it all together. So that one's going to be a little bit longer of a video because we've got sashing and then we've got, the thin little strips within on the rows. So that one will take a little bit longer. And then I think we have a border too outside of that. We're going to do all of that in one video, all of that finishing and completing so you have a full top in one video. All right, so that's what's going on. We got that going on. We are doing another giveaway at the end of this week. It'll be Friday, probably around 10 a.m. That seems to work for me with all the meetings and stuff that I have going on to kind of knock it out first thing in the morning. And then you can watch the video all day if you need to. So we'll have 1 more winner for this time. And yeah, all right. So I am going to plug my next sew along. I will show you. Sorry, I got to go in here. My area is an absolute mess. I am working on a lot of projects right now. All right, so this is our next sew along. This is Sweet Tooth, and this is done with the Jaybird rulers, and you will need to get this book if you want to join me. This starts in December. The kits, I do have kits. I did it in Tulip Pink, and I'll post a picture when I post this in the comments so you can see what it looks like. Um, they, I can only order, I need, ugh, can I trip over my words more? The deadline for getting the kit, if you want the kit to do it exactly like I have it, is October 10th. So we're kind of on a little time stretch. Today is, I think September 10th, so you only have like a month. So make sure if you want to get the kit and do this with me that you go ahead and order that kit. Then I'll get those in and get those to you. So, and with it, you get, I mean, obviously this is a very rough, it's a very rough card, but I'm going to be giving you a more formal typed up kind of swatch card that you can work with when we're doing it if you're using the same fabrics that I am. If you don't have to buy the kit, but if you want to do it, I highly recommend you get the rulers if you don't already have them. You need the Super Sidekick and the Hex and More ruler for this. And you'll need to get this pattern book because although I do tutorials, I don't tell you sizes and I don't tell you a lot of information that you'll need to look at this book for. We do have both. Currently, we are on a pre-order situation for this because so many people are buying the books. I can't keep up with it necessarily. I will have them all and ship them all November. If I get a set in earlier, then I can start filling orders. But I'm kind of, it gets complicated of who got what and when and all this kind of stuff. So it's easier for me if I ship all the kits and the books and rulers all at the same time because I can keep track easier. I know that doesn't make sense, but in my brain it works better. So anyway, I'm plugging that. If you like my sew-alongs, I'm a little more involved with these simply because every block is different. It's not like this one where all the blocks are basically the same. Every block we do is different. Now you do 2 blocks per month. So it's 2 blocks per month, and the blocks, those 2 blocks are done the same, different colorways. But there are 12 months of blocks. So you have 12 different blocks. And then you piece the background. So the background is heavily pieced as well. All right. So that's the Sweet Tooth. And don't get scared by that. That's why I like to do these with a slow sew along kind of thing, because I break it down piece by piece by piece. So when you do it, it's not as overwhelming as this whole big thing all at one time. Because I know this looks like a lot. It's a lot of pieces. And I'm not going to lie, it is a lot of pieces. But when we do it, it doesn't seem that bad. It really doesn't. The gravity I broke down in a way that it was really nice, and a lot of people finished. So this is a fun one. And like I said, October 10th is the last date that you can get the kit. And I'm going to cut off the sign up probably at the end of December because we're getting started in December, and I'll let people kind of catch up over the month, and then I'll close it at the end of December. All right, that is it. Let's have a great week. Let's sew block 8. All right, let's get started. All right, let's get going with this one. We're in the phase of it's more like we're sewing together than me like telling you anything. So we've only got 2 more blocks. This one more, and then we put it all together. I'm excited about that. Okay, so what I always make sure I have, I guess this is the one thing I can talk about it. I always make sure I have my pins. I make sure I have my leader, my starter. I have a pair of snips. I have a stiletto, very, very important. And I have a seam ripper. And although I don't like to use it necessarily, it seems like I have to every time, and that's okay. And then something else that I'm adding, get your water or your drink because you need to stay hydrated. We tend to not drink and hydrate ourselves when we sew. I totally get that because you get excited and things like that. All right, so I've got all my supplies. This is what I keep. Actually, I keep it at my machine, but I know some people have to take down and put up their machine every time because it's like in the kitchen area. I mean, the dining room area or something like that. So those are just the things that I make sure that I have every single time. Um, I'm not even going to talk about what you need to run your machine, like your thread and your bobbin and stuff like that. Those are just the tools that I use every time. All right, so now it's time. I've got my pile of fabrics that I need for this block. It's a very cute block. It's got a little blue in it, so I'm excited about that. All right, and of course, I always work on the top and bottom pieces before I do the center, and that's, but you do you do, that's whatever you want to do. Um, but now, since I guess I'm not saying the truth about that, I'm going to do all of the faux flying geese at the same time because I can chain piece that. So I'm just kind of getting all these together. And my voice is a little crackly today. And let's see, one more. So I'm going to do 4 sets of those. And then these pieces we do not need for the top block. We need 1, 2 of these for the top block. I'm just going to set top block things here. The rest of these we don't need until the center. Okay. And I'm making sure I have the right things. Yes. We need 1, 2, 3. Interesting. It looks like I'm short one of these. I may have to pull some scraps and cut another one. That's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that it's not anywhere else. This is for the center. This is for the center. I'm missing a piece. All right. I am going to go search for that. I'm going to cut the video and redo it, but I need to find that piece. I am missing a piece. So, all right, I'll be right back. Okay, I got my scraps and cut another one. It happens. Oh, I left one on the table. Instead of digging through the pattern, I just measured this one. Okay, so now we're back on. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, so we need all of these. Those are for the top. And then we need all of the 4 squares. All right. So since I made that mistake, maybe I won't have to use the seam ripper, right? You get 1 per. Okay, so we are going to get started. Taking my drink. I seem a little bit more thirsty today. Okay, so I got my leader, and I am just going to do all of these faux flying. I call them faux flying geese because it's got the seam down the center because we're using half square triangles. But they are flying geese. That is one method of doing it. Okay. And if you have ever been scared of flying geese, don't be. I do a method that really, it is very, very simple, and they come out perfect every time. It's the 4 at a time. So if you don't need 4, you just need 1 or 2. The old-fashioned way of doing it, it's better. But if you need a bunch of them, the 4 at a time is really awesome. I need to do a full-on tutorial about it at some point. But while we're doing this, we are doing it the way the pattern says, which is with half square triangles. Okay. And this is where your snips come into play. And just going to snip all these out. I'm going to go ahead and start my next. Forgot to put needle down position. I like that better. Okay, you know me. I like to go ahead and press them out. I have got the iron right next to me, so I can go ahead and get that done. With these, I am pressing the seams open. Kind of lessen that bulk a little bit. Beautiful. And oops. Probably could use my stiletto, but there we go. It's so thin. Well, I guess I can use the other side of it. The presser, the By-Any presser, like finger presser part of it, just to get it started. All right. Then we need 2 of these for the top and bottom, and the other 2 are going to go in the center area. So, but those are done for that. Oh, actually, you know what? We're going to sew all of them together. We have to sew that background piece onto these. Now, with that, I will say you need to be careful. And this is what happened last time when I did this. We're going to put 2 this way and 2 this way. So these background pieces, and I have 2 here, 2. They go onto these, both sets of these, but one side goes to, you know, the outside like this, like this, and like this, where the point, it's away from the point, and then 2 of them go with the, like, it goes on top of the point. So there's opposite. I want to sew these together, but yeah, I want to make sure, because this is where I had to seam rip last week. So here we go. I've got them all set up. Just gonna, I love to chain piece. Chain piecing is really a more efficient use of your time. So if you're not in a rush, like I always seem to be, you can absolutely do these one at a time and take your time with it. That's the beautiful thing about sewing and about this craft. Everybody has their own way of doing things, and it doesn't make it right. I mean, yeah, I mean, it does make it right, but it doesn't make it wrong for somebody to do something different. And what may be easier for you is not so easy for someone else. Case in point, my husband and I, we completely think about math in a different way. It's hard to explain. He's better at math than I am. I'm definitely a calculator girl. But whereas I'll have to add up things, he rounds and subtracts basically. So if I were adding, 19, 20, and 42, I would literally add all of those, where he'll round up or down and add or subtract, just as an example. So we all think differently, and we all sew differently. We get the same results. My seam flipped over, so I want to just undo that and resew it real quick so it's not so bulky. All right, come on, catch a seam. I don't don't want to split the fabric, but I can't seem to catch a seam. There we go. I finally caught one. All right, there we go. I just need to sew over that real quick. Because I know some people, sorry, going back to my point, I know some people think their way is the only way. And for them, you know what? It is. That is the only way. And I definitely have my, my little things that I like to do with sewing. And I just think that's the beautiful part of life, right? That we're all just a little different and do things differently. Man, that makes it so colorful and beautiful, right? It's the imperfections that are the most beautiful. One of my former employees, she quit to do another venture, but she still works with us on Saturdays sometimes. She has started doing this really gorgeous, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't remember the name of it, but you basically take scraps and you work from the outside to the center, and it's hand stitching, and it is absolutely stunning when it's done. Now, is it, perfect points and all that kind of stuff? No, it's not that. The beauty is in the imperfection of it, and it's absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to show y'all. We're aiming for kind of like February, but she's going to do a class here at the shop, and we will, I'll show y'all though. I know some of y'all are just online, so it will be real cool to show y'all. Okay, so we're done with the faux flying geese sections. Now it's time to put the top and bottom together. We are at that point. All right, so we've got these, we've got them going the right way. And the little cheat with these, remember, is when you're attaching them to this, the colors have to match up. So the points, the wings of the flying geese is going to match the square, and the side is going to match, the little side. This is also a directional fabric that's going to go a different way. So that's something to think about when you're doing this together. I don't mind. It doesn't bother me at all, but I know for some people, they don't like that. But for this quilt, I think it works. Okay, we are going to sew these together. I'm gonna sew these both together because the bottom is the same as the top. It just turns over, so that makes easy peasy. Using your stiletto. Using your stiletto. All right. And this one, I'm going to do it the same way. Here we go. I'm going to do it the way that I'm looking at it on the pattern. The little, it's not really the pattern page. It's kind of the way the blocks are laid out page 8. It didn't crunch on me. I didn't use my leader that time. Okay. We're not going to take our chances. All right, so we do the other one to the other side, same way. Match your colors. This is definitely a match your color thing. Match your colors. So this one goes here. See, this one, yeah, you could work that one too. It goes like that, but I would like this one to go like this. Just the way I'm working it. All right, and we're going to sew. And open this up, and that one is quite ready for you. And the reason why I chose this is because these houses are facing up and down, at least for these pieces. It was just kind of how I wanted to do it, but you do you do what you need to do. right. The top and bottom come together really quickly. There's a little bit more sewing on the middle section. All right. Now we just have to put the two side pieces on, press, and we're good to go for the middle section. Woo, the sewing goes so much faster. Okay. I am on these, I'm going to make the houses face inward, like, you know what I mean? So this one I'm going to have, if you can see that, the tops of the houses face out. Just a preference of mine. It gives me a sense of inclusion. I know that sounds odd with your fabrics, a sense of inclusion. Make sure my flap is going the right way. All right. And this one, sense of inclusion. And then they all will kind of go the same way, right? I'm just mindful. I'm picking a direction and being mindful of it. All right. Just on the other side now, and the top and bottom's done. Then we press, 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 press. When you turn it upside down like this, make sure you're going the direction you want to go. This is where at least I tend to mess up because I'm not paying attention. I'm talking to y'all. I'm listening to a book. I'm jamming out to music, whatever I'm doing. And I kind of get it going the wrong way. All right. Done with the top and bottom. And I could chain piece a little more with this. I could do all of the top and bottom pieces. In fact, when we get to the center, I'll probably do more of multiple things, right, where we're sewing. Okay, so we marked on our pattern. I know not everybody wants to mark on their pattern, but your notes or whatever you're doing, if you make another copy, you know, whatever. And I am looking at the direction to press my seams. We're pressing out here. We're pressing, let's get a line there, and out here. I'm actually going to turn it over. There we go. Line. It's a rainy day today, and supposedly a cool front's moving in. I hope so. We could use a break. It's been really, really hot here. I mean, it's Houston. It's hot, but we're hoping fall starts to come see us. And what always happens, we get this cold front and then we get really hot again. Like we get back up into the hundreds or something. And then we get another little cool front and it cools it down. And then we get in the mid 90s, mid to low 90s. And then we get another little cold front. And then it's like 90, 92. And then we get another cold front. And then it's like upper 80s, 90s. And it does that all the way through October. Maybe in November. Yeah, we still get some heat spells in November. And even December. I remember wearing shorts at Christmas. Our really cold months are January, February. And really cold is relative because I know some of y'all live like where it's really, really, really cold. Our winters are really mild. But we do get below freezing and a couple days. It's nice. You can actually get outside and do things. My husband's so cold-natured that I don't know if he could live anywhere real cold because he would freeze to death. He's always cold. All right. Well, I keep the air conditioner low. So. Okay, we're done with the top and bottom. We're just going to set this aside. And now we're going to focus on the center, the center, the center. So I need 2 units for the very side part. And I need 2 units for the center. So we're going to start with 1, 2 units here. And here. We need 1 here, 1 here, and then we need them on the bottoms, but we'll start with the tops. We're starting with tops. This goes here. And this, you got to make sure you're going the right, well, I guess it doesn't matter because you're doing both of them. All right, so I'll need 2 of these. We're putting 1 there and 1 there. And we're just going, oh, oh, nope, 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 nope. See, almost made a mistake. 1 there. All right, we're going to start sewing these together. And this one's really hard to make sure it's the right side. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. And I'm just doing all these together because we just need to sew things to the tops and bottoms. I can do that all together. Literally for everything on here. Top and bottom. And this is top and bottom. And the next one, top and bottom. And that is why I'm chain piecing. Last time I messed up, and I'm trying not to use the seam ripper today, other than when flaps go over. I like to correct those. It just makes it lay a little bit flatter. I don't always do that, unfortunately, because I'm in a hurry, but when I'm not and I'm slow sewing like I am this morning, I'm okay doing that. All right. And I hope y'all know that the reason why I'm doing it like this now is because I feel like you're pretty confident in it. Because if you look at some of the other videos, you know, I do it really step by step to make sure you understand what was going on. So if you're getting a little lost, just slow down and follow the directions. Okay. I don't need to look at it. All right. Taking my sip of water and back to just top and bottom, top and bottom. And if you forget what goes where, you just have to look at the other side and you're like, oh yeah, that goes there. And then we will piece this together, because then it's just piece those sections together and then sew the top to the center and the bottom to the center, and we are done. Whew. When it's humid, no matter what the temperature, I get a little hot. I stay hot. And it's very humid because it's raining. And 1 more, and we're actually done with the piecing of this. Well, not the total piecing, but you know what I mean, of the small pieces. Okay. No mistakes. I didn't make any mistakes this time. I'm excited about that. I really am. Almost did, but I caught myself. Remember, I almost sewed to the wrong way. I caught myself. Okay, I am going to look at my notes to see which way we're pressing. We're pressing to the center on these. And this, the reason, if you remember, is so we can match and nest those seams. To me, that's real important. I probably nest a little more than most people do. A lot of people just do open seams. And you know what? If you like open seams and that works for you, you go for it. I like the nesting. I feel like it lays flatter, and but that's just, again, my opinion. All right, and for the middle section, we are pressing out towards the end pieces. All right, there we go. Pressing out. And give it a little line. Ooh, the AC kicked on. That feels good. I was sweating. All right, there we go. And this one, top and bottom, towards the center. Remember, these aren't the sides. This is the top and bottom that we put on. Okay, let's piece this together. Okay, we're with the center. Now, this is a part that you can get mixed up, so really pay attention. Since we've got the top and bottom here, you want to make sure these go on each side, and you need to turn your, you don't want the flying geese to go out like that. That won't make the flower look. So we're going to put it together like that. Isn't that pretty? I just love this one. This one's just gorgeous. Okay, I don't need my directions anymore. I know what I'm doing. Okay, those seams really match up. At this level, if you would like to pin, that's helpful, but everything's matching up so nicely, I don't think I'm going to. Now, when I piece the top to the bottom, I absolutely pin. That's why I've got my pins here. So you pin wherever you feel you need that extra help with, right? You just, a couple extra seconds, and pinning really makes all the difference. Now, if you join me on the Sweet Tooth Sew Along, I'm going to plug this a little bit. It's with Jaybird. If you've joined me for Gravity in 2024, so last year, if you joined me with Gravity, we're doing another Jaybird one. So you can use those rulers, those templates, and we are going to pin like there is no tomorrow. There's a lot of pinning with that one. And the reason why I pin so much is you have a lot of, you're working with a lot of bias seams, and it helps it. It makes all the difference. Okay, you wouldn't think it would, but your top and bottom, your feed dogs push it through faster than your top. It's hard to explain, but it has different pull-through rates. So it can, especially with bias edges, kind of those feed dogs can stretch it just a little bit, and it will make your seams not match up. So if you know that they match, pin it well, and everything will kind of magically come together. It's crazy how that works. The physics of it. Okay. And we're just putting on those end pieces, and then we press this out and start putting it together. We're almost done. This is block 8. Yes, this is block 8. So we only have one more. Oh my gosh, one more. One more block to sew together, and then we are putting it all together. And I know a lot of y'all sewed ahead, and I'm not hearing where y'all are at. I really want y'all to tell me kind of what you're doing. If you're a little bit behind, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm going to give you an extra month or two to catch up. I know sometimes life gets in the way. Let me tell you, it's by the grace of God that I have been able to keep up with this. Things are really, really crazy right now. Crazy, crazy. All right. And I have got thread everywhere and hair everywhere. Okay. So now we are done with the center part. Everything looks wonderful. Everything looks matched up. Super fabulous. It really came together good this time. All right. I do want to look at my instructions so I know how I am pressing. I'm pressing out. I'm pressing in. Yes. Okay. I'm going to set the seam real quick. It seems to be wanting to bunch over. There we go. That looks a lot better. All right, so that presses out. I'm going to move this over a little bit so I'm not stretching so far. All right, and then this one presses in. There we go. Pressing in. Yes, I'm loving my little Oliso. I gotta admit, this is kind of nice by the machine. I've not really had this before. And I do have one. You know what? I'm gonna fix this. I've got another seam where it kind of curled under. So what I do when this happens is I don't like completely undo it. I just catch that first top one and then usually I open that seam up. It kind of pops open. But then I've only removed really like 1 or 2 stitches and then I just go back over it. So not a completely seam ripper free day, but with that, it doesn't take but just a second and it lays so much nicer and just looks better. I think it's worth the couple extra seconds it takes. And yes, I should watch it a little bit more, but you know. All right, so back at it. See, look how that's laying. Isn't that so much better? Can you see that? That's just laying so much better. Perfect. Okay, and then this one goes in. Are you ready to piece this together? We are ready to piece this together. And I press the last at the ironing board. It just gets a little too big to do with this little iron. All right, so I am done with this little iron. I'm going to turn it off. Now we are going to get the top piece. Look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness. All right, this is the top. Yes, because it goes like this. Okay. So I am making sure, because I did do these small squares where the houses were facing upright. So if I have pulled my bottom, see, those are facing upside down. See if you can see that. So that's how I know that this is actually the bottom and this is actually the top. Okay, now we're pinning. So how I pin is at every little intersection. Did I do this wrong? Did I press this wrong? Because they are going the same direction. I think I pressed this wrong. Yes, in this first one, in the top and bottom, I did press wrong. I think I did this last time too. I need to look at my notes and make sure that I've got it right. This goes this way. Do I have it? I do, I just didn't pay attention. No major seam ripper, but repressing. And I'm taking the time because it nests so much better and I won't get that bulky. And I know it's on these the the bottom too. So it's still hot, but I need to turn it back on. So I'm going to pin this. Actually, I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to go ahead and take care of this while I'm here. That way I can turn that iron off. Whoops. Turn that iron off again. It's still got a lot of heat. This gets really, really hot. I probably didn't even need to turn it back on, but... Okay. Now we are good to go. Okay. Turn that back off. Okay. What I like about this new Oliso, sorry, they put the cord on the bottom. So the last one they did, they had it, I mean, on the side, they had it on the bottom, and it was kind of difficult to stand the iron up. I know they say you can put it down on that little pad that it's got, but I feel more comfortable standing it up. Okay, now we're pinning, and everything nests beautifully. I pin at every intersection, every seam intersection. Okay, making sure everything kind of matches up as we go. You can tell when you're doing this if it's not going to match up perfectly because you've got a lot of bulk. And at this point, I don't know if there's anything you can do about it. That's what a really consistent seam will help with. And I still have not replaced my 1/4 inch foot, so kind of I need to do that. Just I keep forgetting. When I'm at the machine, I'm not going to stop and go order it, but all right. Here we go. We are sewing the top on. Kind of got out of my chair. All right, here we go. I've got a couple people that are gonna join the sew along late, and they may not have the same colors because I'm out of some of the fabrics, but they liked it so much. And my husband yesterday, Mr. Threaded Lines, actually helped someone pull all the pieces and decide on all the colors for the quilt. So I'm actually kind of excited to see how hers turns out. Okay. Remember, I'm not going to press here. It's just too big for that little iron. I don't have enough space. I mean, I have enough space. It's just awkward. Okay. Pretty good. Very good. Very good. I'm happy with it. It's this one right here is less than 1/8 of an inch. It's just a stitch off. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. And I know this is the bottom, so I'm not like taking too much care to make sure the fabrics are going right. If they're not going right at this point, you're kind of screwed. You would have to start over, unstitch and restitch, and you know what? I'm not going to do that, but I know they're right. So, and then we're going to pin, and we are done with block 8. Oh my gosh. I just can't believe it. This one I've done way more fast than I did Gravity. Gravity, we took it really slow. There we go. And I don't know, some people like that it's really slow. Some people join and finish fast. I think Chris, she's already finished hers and she's moved on to other things, and she helped me with my Quilts of Valor testing, and she's doing all sorts of the mystery. She's doing all sorts of stuff. Okay. This one, do you see how it's a little bulky? I'm betting anything that that one's going to be off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin this one and see if my sort of walking foot, I have one of those IDT foots on my machine, and we'll see if that can absorb it. Okay. It wasn't a lot of bulk, it was just a little bit. All right, here we go. And how a walking foot helps is it evens out that feed that I was talking about, right? How your feed dogs feed faster than your top one, your top foot. And on areas that are thick, I just go a little bit slower. And that is supposed to go that way. I'm kind of making sure everything's. And this is not going to match up. Yeah, I think we're, you see, it's going to fold over if I make it. So I'm going to let it be just slightly off so that I don't get a fold over. And I'm not going to redo this. We'll see how bad it is. Yeah, it's a good 1/8 of an inch off, but I'm okay with that. Everything else looks beautiful. Overall, I don't think it's going to matter when everything gets said and done. With quilting pieced together, that 1/4 of an inch you're not going to notice. So there we go. We have got our block. I'm super excited. Number 8, only one more to go. Only one more. And if I were hurrying, I would go ahead and finish it today so we can move on. But that's not how I do my sew-alongs. I do slow sew-alongs. So we are going to take our time, enjoy it. It was an enjoyable sewing session. I didn't have to seam rip very much. I only pressed something wrong, which that's an easy fix. And yeah, all right. We are almost done. I only have 2 more weeks with y'all where I'm going to be posting a video every week. Yeah, I said that at the beginning, so sorry I'm repeating myself, but there we go. All right, y'all enjoy your week, and I'll be back here. Yes, that's right. I said at the beginning, I almost forgot. Later on this week, we'll be doing a live, and probably Friday, doing a live and another giveaway. We have one more giveaway. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and I hope that y'all are appreciating this. And like I said, have a great week. See you next time. Happy sewing. Bye.